Hey everybody, welcome to our call. I am so glad that you are taking some time to join us. I know we're at the end of a weekend and beginning of a week, and so I appreciate you carving out some time. I know that is not easy, but I'm so thankful for you choosing to be here with us tonight. So if you have not met me, my name is Abby Taylor. I'm a mom of three and I live in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm a Sapphire Brand Ambassador here at Plexus. And what that means is over the last 7 years, I've just helped hundreds of women see real results, not just with their health, but with building income that creates real margin in their lives. So, this leadership rank comes with some pretty incredible perks, and we'll talk about those later. But more than anything, it really represents experience, stability, and a business model that works when you work it. So I want you guys to have your chat box open tonight. So if you go to the bottom, you should see chat. Open that up because I'm going to be asking you guys a few questions along the way, and I would love for you to engage there with me. So open up your chat box and would love to hear from you guys tonight. So maybe you came excited. Maybe you're just a little curious about this. Maybe you're quietly wanting more, but you're also feeling really skeptical. Wherever you are, it's okay. And we're so glad that you are here. And my heart tonight is really just for these next few minutes is to share like what I've lived, what I've seen, and what I know is possible, and to just give you guys a space to reflect on what you want for your own life. So before I share my story, I want to honor the women who invited you here tonight. You're here tonight because they saw something in you, something special. They invited you with intentionality because they believe that maybe this could bless you like it has for them too. So if you're here tonight, just know you're amazing and we're really glad that you are listening in. And then I just want to speak quickly about Sam and Samantha Hoffer and Stephanie Streck, just because they really are the heartbeat behind this tonight. They're both driven, busy women who aren't afraid to grow and to reach new heights. They're passionate about not only helping others succeed with their health, but also in their finances, which leads me to the reason why you guys are all here tonight on this call. So go ahead and type in the chat, open up the chat box. Who invited you tonight? And then while you're there, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much margin do you feel that you have right now in your life? One being, or even zero, none. And 10, I can live life free as I please. Who invited you tonight? Type it in the chat and then tell me about your margin. One, I have none. Or 10, like I'm living the high life over here. I got tons of flexibility, tons of freedom. Where do you stand on that scale? Super curious to see. Okay, as you guys are doing that, I'm going to dive in. So, 7 years ago, I was an elementary music teacher and a young mom to two, now three. I was really just trying to keep everything afloat. I loved my teaching job for about the first 8 years, hit year nine, and something shifted, and I had to I don't want to say leave, but I needed something to change in my life desperately. Financially, we were pretty tight, living paycheck to paycheck, constantly doing the mental math, feeling so much anxiety about the bills that came in or any repairs or any unexpected expenses. Like we had our furnace go out, we had our dishwasher go out, right? We needed new tires on our van, real life things happening. And I was exhausted. I was rushing through the mornings, daycare drop-offs, yelling at my kids, then having the mom guilt, racing off to my job. And it just was a lot of stress. And I remember thinking, like, will it always be this way? At the same time, my body was actually waving red flags. I wasn't sleeping well. I relied on sugar to get through the day. I needed naps. I crashed on the couch in the afternoon or on my classroom floor at school. I was in the teacher's lounge looking for some sort of pick me up. By evening, I really had nothing left to give. And it was come home from work, make dinner, put my kids to bed, pass out on the couch, wake up the next morning. And it was just this vicious cycle. And I remember wondering, will it ever get better? So, have you guys ever found yourself thinking the same thought? Put a one in the chat if you've ever thought, will it get better? Or is this how it will always be? Can anybody else relate? And here's the thing, I didn't want anything big or dramatic necessarily. It was like little things for me. I wanted to take my son into kindergarten and not have to rush off to work afterwards. I wanted to bake muffins in the afternoon with my daughter, have dinner on the table when my husband got home because I could. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to. Live life during the week versus having to cram everything into the weekends. I wanted to buy organic groceries without having to run my credit card, buy Christmas and birthday gifts without stressing, buy an outfit I liked at full price without guilt, get my hair done without having to swap out the cost for something else that month. Or, even just I was thinking, okay, if I could make it like an extra $300 to $400 a month, that would be enough. That would be a game changer for us. I wanted more time. I wanted more peace, more margin, and less arguing over our bills. So, question for you guys. If a little pressure was lifted off of you right now in your life, what's one small thing that might change for you or shift for you? Would love to hear in the chat. Maybe it's something you would purchase, something you would pay off, something you would save for. What would that change for you? Some extra income coming in. So I was seeking a flexible way to contribute financially from home, without everything falling on just my husband's shoulders. But I did not see how that would be possible for us. And that's when my sister shared Plexus with me. Out of the blue, it seemed, but looking back, I know it was an answer for my desperate plea. I I gotta let some people in. Hold on. Okay, back to it. I saw her with her pink drink. I was really skeptical, honestly. I was like, we don't drink that kind of stuff in our family. We grew up on water, and that's about it. I'm also very frugal, and so the idea of adding an extra expense in was not flying with me. But the only reason I actually started was because she purchased my first box for me. She's a very nice sister. And when she mentioned the income opportunity, the business, I immediately said no. Here's something important to know about me. I never planned on doing network marketing, ever. I'm an introvert. I wasn't active much on social media. I didn't have a big friends group, and my husband was not supportive. Not because he didn't love me, but because this felt really unfamiliar and risky, and he didn't like the idea of another expense coming in. And so I had a lot of reasons to not succeed here. But a few weeks into my Plexus journey, I was taking my products consistently, trusting the process, talking with my sponsor. Something unexpected happened. I was sleeping through the night. I felt like I didn't need the naps every day. My energy started to return. I was calmer with my kids. I was happier. I stopped crashing every afternoon and getting shaky before meals. So I knew that my blood sugars were starting to balance. And for the first time in a long time, I actually felt like I had control over my health again. And that was a really cool feeling. And that's when the shift began. It wasn't overnight, it wasn't magically, it really was right on time. And it wasn't until somebody actually encouraged me to dream, to slow down and ask myself what was really deep inside of me. That was a turning point for me. Because the truth is, and maybe you guys can relate, I had been in survival mode for so long that I didn't even know what it looked like to dream. I was living day by day, barely seeing my husband, living for the weekends, living for summer vacation, just trying to make it through the week. So the idea of dreaming was very foreign to me. And honestly, I thought it was a waste of time. But what really shifted was when I honestly stopped to ask myself some questions to draw things out of me that were already inside. And so my sister really encouraged me to like look in and look forward beyond my present situation, right? Beyond my survival mode, but let's look ahead 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. What do you want? What do you want your life to look like? And that's when things really clicked. She gave me permission to dream, and something literally woke up inside of me. I started feeling excited again. I was motivated. I was hopeful. I couldn't sleep at night because I had all these dreams in my head. And so, the first time in a long time, I was looking ahead with anticipation and not worry. And I started to believe that this could actually be something that could answer other people's questions and prayers as well. And so I believe that this could help my family and other people around me. And I started to clearly see what this could do for others. For me, the things that really drew me in when she started telling me about, like, what is this all about? It was the new vehicle. I have never driven a new vehicle in my life. And so the idea of driving a Lexus that Plexus would lease to me, like I could pick it out, the interior, the color on the outside, like that was really exciting. It felt kind of silly, honestly, but very enticing. My family, we didn't really get to travel much, definitely not internationally. So any trips that we had to take, we had to save money or try to make it as cheap as possible, right? If we were doing road trips, we were packing a cooler full of food. And so just trying to make it as affordable as possible. And so the concept of traveling several times a year to bucket list places on the company's dime, like that absolutely blew my mind. But I could see how having a regular space to step away from the noise and hustle bustle of life, to connect with my children, to connect with my husband, to strengthen our relationships and our marriage. Like that was a really, really cool thing to me. It was very important to me. And then when she mentioned that I could make a six-figure, seven-figure income here, I was like sold out. I'm like, okay, as a teacher, I can't make anywhere near that amount of income. I'm capped, right? And so with Plexus, there is no cap. You can go all the way to the top of the company and re-enroll under yourself. There is no cap for income. Like you can make as much income as you want or as little as you want. And so the thought of making more than a brain surgeon, again, was crazy to me. Um, but when I thought about that income amount, I was like, that's freedom. That's choice. That's margin. That's the life that I want. Okay, so in the chat, it's your turn. If you could, oh, I guess I already asked this question. Well, if you missed it, because I know a few people just jumped on. If you could pay off, purchase, or change something with your monthly income right now, what would that be? If your income doubled or tripled right now, how would that impact your family? First thought that comes to your mind, put it in the chat. We would love to hear it. And it wasn't really the number so much that jumped out to me. Like I said, it was really like what it represented. And so the ability to breathe again, actually enjoy life without racing through it to retirement. Now that I'm on the other side of things, and well, I'll share more about my story later, but I'm like, I'm so thankful I don't have to just race to retirement. I can enjoy life now. That's a luxury, I feel like. It's incredible. So thankful. But I looked at taking the next step and I was willing. You just have to be willing. And so um I also realized that I was a very busy woman. I was a mom, teaching music lessons at school, teaching piano lessons at school, teaching piano lessons at home on the worship team at church. Like I was busy. And so that was one of my objections too when my sister shared this with me. I'm like, I don't have time. And it's really cool to see that by putting a little something extra on my plate, wiggling things around, juggling things around a little bit, it's actually allowed me to take a lot of things off of my plate now. So it seemed like one more thing to put on, but now it's actually allowed me to take this off and to really like create the plate that I want to have at every meal, like the kind of life I want to live. It's really cool. And so I made the decision to go all in. I didn't stumble into it. No one pushed me. I chose to go all in. And, even though maybe it didn't fit the box that others expected of me, even though people might have opinions about me leaving my teaching career, even though putting myself on social media felt really strange, and even though my husband did not see it yet, I knew that saying yes to this would change our future. And when I pour into something, I do it with excellence and with determination. And I thought, well, if someone else can do this, why can't I figure it out? And so that's what I went with. And I decided that this opportunity would be our plan B with no intention of it ever becoming our plan A. So I stepped out of my comfort zone. It was scary. It still is. I'm still doing scary things. Um, started to share this with the people in my life, right? Like the women at school and my friends on Facebook and my old high school youth group friend. She was tired, she was exhausted, she was bloated, she wanted to sleep at night. And so I'm like, why would I not share this with other people who are struggling? I have an answer for them. Why would I not share it? And so I started sharing it boldly. I really didn't know much. I just started sharing it and I learned along the way. And I also realized that a lot of moms or women were going to sleep worrying not only about their health, but about their finances. And I realized that Plexus had a solution for both. And so it helped me to share even more boldly. And continued to learn the skill set and took some bold action. My team began to grow. We started to help one more, and then two more, and three more, and it started to grow one conversation at a time. And um, I also realized that women were not only just wanting health and maybe a little bit of extra income, but they also wanted to have a different lifestyle. They also were intrigued by what freedom could look like, more time with their family, more opportunities to say yes. Like, what could that look like? The flexibility to maybe come home from a job or go down to part-time hours or pursue something they're really actually passionate about. They wanted a community to feel like they belonged with, where they had purpose, where they felt special, where they could contribute, right? And the idea of traveling on the company's dime, I mean, who would say no to that? Nobody. So I realized quickly that Plexus was not just a wellness company. It wasn't like other companies out there. It was truly a vehicle to freedom. And my business grew steadily, and I grew too. Um, Okay, sorry, the door just opened. It was my cat. I'm like, is my son out of bed? Okay, real life moment here. I am home alone with my 5-year-old. Um, so, this opportunity really pulled the leader out of me that I didn't know was there. If someone would have asked me 7 years ago, "Are you a leader?" I'd be like, "No, I'm not a leader." And so, it drew that out of me, and that's been the coolest thing to watch myself grow in this process because I'm a very different person now than when I started, and it's refined me, it's stretched me beyond my comfort zone. It's sharpened my communication skills. It's helped me with just healthier habits. It's deepened my faith. And I can say that becoming more of the person that God created you to be is one of the most rich rewards you will ever experience in this lifetime. And so I loved that my hard work was seen because I'm a hard worker and it was celebrated and in many different ways. I was earning iPads and Apple Watches and customized Nike shoes, really fluffy, amazing, cozy blankets and stage recognition and huge cash bonuses and even phone calls from the founder of the company. Yes, that was really cool to see that someone way up high at the tippy top was reaching down to me to congratulate me, to get me on the phone. And that just showed the integrity, and the value behind this company and what it stands for. So, yeah, we're close-knit community here. I did not know Sam or Sarah or Stephanie or anybody here before Plexus came into my life and came into their life. So it's really cool to see the different amazing like-minded women that you will meet and connect with deeply in this process. And we would love for you to be able to join us in this community as well. So, about a month into my journey, I made my first $300 to $400, the exact amount I wanted to make, right? And I remember saying things like to my husband, like, "Oh, I'll cover the phone bill this month. I got it," or "I've got the electric bill," and it was really fun. It covered tires for our van when we needed them, summer activities for our kids, sports, right? And slowly, my husband's belief, it started to build. And then my first $1,000 paycheck came in, and I was shook. It felt like a dream. I couldn't believe that I was making that kind of money from my phone by helping people. And that's when I could start saying yes to small things like getting my hair done regularly, going to the nail salon, at different self-care things, the occasional massage, and not feeling guilty for spending money on me. And then we started to grow our savings account. Dave Ramsey, any Dave Ramsey fans out there? So that felt really good too to start working on the emergency fund. And that's when the bigger shifts happened. I was able to leave the classroom and come home, and that changed my life. I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is what I wanted to do full time. It was exciting. It was for fun. It was fun, filling, rewarding, challenging, everything that I would want in a career. And it honestly has become one of the best choices I've ever made. So shortly after I had my third baby, it was 2020. That's all I'm going to say about that. And instead of slowing down, our team actually caught massive fire momentum. And I was able to hit a monumental rank in the first 2 years of my business. I went Emerald, it's called. It's the third to top rank in the company. It comes with a six-figure income trajectory, the Lexus, um, a luxury trip for two each year to a fantastic place. And I actually hit that rank in one of the most difficult seasons of my life. My baby, he was probably a month old, ended up in the children's hospital two different times within a month's time with a crazy rare staph infection in his little shoulder. And so like I picked him up and his arm would not move and we raced to the emergency room and then we went to the hospital and there's just the most stressful few weeks of my life, I think, ever. They had to do surgery and while all this was happening, my team ranked up. And I remember working from the hospital chair in my phone and who else were we going to help and who else were we going to help jump on board and join our team. And it is so cool to see the community that will come around you. This is way beyond just business now. This is about personal life. This is about going through tragedies, really hard moments, and having women to come around you and support you and rally with you and love you and nudge you higher. That's all what happened to get me to Emerald and beyond. And I'm a hard worker, so don't worry. I was like in the chair at all hours nursing my baby, but it was incredible to just see like this was a beautiful distraction for me in a really, really hard season. And it just showed me the depth of this community and this team. And it was, yeah, something I will never, ever forget. So one of my favorite parts about hitting Emerald Jewel Rank is that when you hit Jewel Rank, they will gift you that luxury trip for two for you and a guest. So this year we're headed to Mayakoba, Mexico in September, and it is heaven on earth. That's all I can say about that. It is incredible. It's without words. I can show you pictures, not tonight, but I will. And Plexus truly pulls out all the stops, like from shopping sprees to hold on, I gotta mute somebody. Shopping sprees to at Bloomingdale's to the Caribbean celebrity cruises to five-star resorts in Maui, Hawaii, Mayakoba, Mexico. This past fall, I got to take my husband on a week-long, all expenses paid Alaskan cruise, something we never would have been imagined we'd be able to do. And I've been able to bring my mom on trips with me. She's still talking about it 2 years later. I've been able to bring my children. I'm headed to Mexico next week with Plexus, and I'm bringing my two older kids. They're 9 and 11. They can't stop talking about it. They're so excited. And I just sit back and I think, I would never be able to do this to this, five-star luxury resort, bring my kids along with me. Plexus is paying for our flights. They're paying for our stay. They're paying for our travel. Like, incredible. And so, okay, question for you guys. If you were gifted a trip, any trip, in the chat, what is one place that you would love to go? For me, it would absolutely be Ireland. I need to go experience Ireland. Where else would you guys want to go? I'm seeing Hawaii. Bora Bora, yes. Greece, oh, I love all of these. Yes, yes, yes. So watching my kids' joy and their excitement and my husband's sense of wonder, it's been so surreal and worth every single difficulty and setback. Because I have faced a lot of difficulties and a lot of setbacks on this journey. And the fact that, Plexus is generous enough to cover these trips, it still amazes me. It's not normal. It's not common. And it's one of the reasons why I believe so deeply in this company and their generosity. And here's a part that still humbles me, guys. My story is almost over. Last month, I made my largest paycheck ever. It came into my email and says you've been paid, and it was just under $15,000. And I could cry because now my husband will be able to take a missions trip to Africa to serve and use his gifts and talents, which has been his dream and my dream from the start 7 years ago. You make a vision board of what you want your life to look like, and secretly, like I had this image of my husband standing in the doorway. He's got the suitcase. He's headed on this missions trip. Maybe someday this will happen. Well, it's happening. It's happening in August. He has a meeting tomorrow to commit and book the flights. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Those dreams that you have inside of you, they are real and they are achievable. And just watch the impact on other people in your life when it does happen. And so I'm so thankful that $15,000 is, I'm not stopping there. Like my goal next year is to make 25,000 a month. And that is like must have goal. So again, unlimited amount of income. We actually have a leader on our team who makes 6 figures a month. 6 figures a month. Just imagine how much that could change the trajectory of your life. I can't even comprehend that, but this same opportunity is here for you too. So because of this business, my family has options. We slow down our pace of life. We have been able to volunteer more, like pursue passions, give more generously, and most importantly, be present with our kids because we get one lifetime with our kids. I don't know what the code is, but you get like so many thousands, hundreds of thousands of hours with your kids before they're out of the house. And that always just speaks to me so much. We decided to homeschool because we could. We picked up and decided to travel more. My husband in 2020 also lost his job of 17 years, so had a baby. Husband lost his job. Husband lost his promotion. Husband lost his work truck. This all happened within about 2 months' time. And we didn't have to panic because of the Plexus income. He didn't have to rush into another role. He chose to stay at home. I know that's not for every dad, but it is for us. And he decided he wanted to invest in our kids. His lifelong fear was that he would have to miss out on sporting events and music events because of working. And so he decided to stay home and not miss out on that. He didn't miss a single first with our baby. Um, and it's just been beautiful. So our goal is to be eventually completely debt free. It's very important to us. We want to build a beautiful house on a plot of land, the front wraparound front porch. Yes, that's going to be mine. And just watch our kids and our grandkids grow up there. And so we never want to have to worry about expenses. I have pretty extensive genetic things going on in me that need lifelong support. I'd never want to have to burden my family with that. And so that's actually one of the reasons I got into sharing is because I needed income for future medical expenses. We want to be able to, help support our kids with their college career, with their starting off their life without debt, being able to say yes where we see fit. So today, this is something my husband now thanks me for. I had to be my own cheerleader for 2 years, 2 years. And now that he's seen the fruit of my determination, my grit, my refusal to quit when things got really hard and rocky. And I want you guys to hear this. The people who question you in the beginning, they're the ones who will often thank you in the end. So you will thank yourself for not giving up when the work felt uncomfortable or hard or slow. So this journey has deeply transformed me as a woman, a wife, a mom, a friend, a leader. I'm forever grateful for this process. One of the reasons I keep saying yes and yes and yes to this growth, even when it's uncomfortable, is because I'm raising 3 children who are watching me. Not what I say, but what I do. And I want my kids to grow up believing that big things just don't happen to special people. I want my kids to grow up believing that they can happen to those who are willing to learn, stretch, and stay faithful. And my hope is one day that my children will join me here in this Plexus adventure. I do think my daughter will join me. She's from the start been, in my office helping me with different events. She knows the ropes. And so this is something that you can actually gift for generations to come. It can become a legacy business that you pass on. And it's really cool to think about. So people often ask me, like, Abby, has it been worth it? And my answer is always yes. over and over again. Has it been easy? Absolutely not. But honestly, anything meaningful that you build is going to require growth, effort, and perseverance, right? That's a given. I fought a lot of mindset battles, mostly my own false stories I created in my mind between my two ears, right? And there are moments I questioned myself. I felt very insecure. I wondered if I could move forward. What are people thinking? Moments if I had, wondering if I had what it took. I faced people stopping products, people ignoring me, people leaving Plexus. I've faced hurt, pain, rejection, everything. But every part of it is still 100% worth it. It's worth it to out earn careers you were told were the ceiling for you. It's worth it to plan your life instead of react to it. Worth it to live out your dreams, not someday, but now. And worth it to change the trajectory of your family's future. To not have to wait for retirement to actually enjoy your life. So I made one decision early on. I was not going to let my comfort zone keep me from everything that God had for me or for others in my life and on my team. And that decision has carried me through some seasons of doubt, growth, momentum, and challenge, and it's become the anchor when things felt uncertain. All right, I want to pause here for a moment. We're going to be wrapping up here very shortly, but I'm not asking you guys to decide anything tonight, but I'm going to ask you guys a few honest questions that were asked of me because clarity often comes when we're willing to look at where we're headed. So here's the question. Actually, a few, and you guys can write it down. You don't have to put your answers in the chat. You can just mentally check in with yourself. But if nothing changes in your life over the next 3 to 5 years, the same schedule, the same income, the same level of stress, how do you think you'll feel? If nothing changes, how will you feel? Would you feel content? Or would something feel unfinished? If life stays exactly as it is right now, I see some honesty in the chat. Thank you, Stephanie. If your life stays exactly as it is right now, what moments might you miss because of it? And when you picture yourself a few years from now, what would you regret more? Trying something and deciding it wasn't for you, or never giving yourself a chance at all? That one's kind of a gut punch. I also want you guys to be really clear about what it actually takes to be successful here. It does not take a certain personality. It doesn't take being extroverted or introverted. It doesn't take a specific age, background, or experience. I don't care if you've been with 5 other companies before. I've been with other network marketing companies before, and I was not nearly as successful as I am here. You have to be willing to grow. You have to be willing to learn a skill set and put it into practice. You have to be willing to be coachable, and you'll love linking arms with me and the women on my team. They're awesome. You have to have an openness for change and knowing that you're willing to change as you want change, right? And then you have to know what your why is. It's deeply personal to you. No one else has your same exact dreams and goals. And we barely just started to touch on that. So the woman who will do well here, they don't want to keep living life the same exact way. They don't want to stay in survival mode constantly until retirement. And so they're willing to try something new, do something new. And just know that you will never be alone. We have phenomenal systems here that you'll plug into. You'll know exactly how to get started. You'll have support, collaboration, and connection. And this is flexible. So you don't have to leave a full-time job like I did 2 years in to make this work. You can absolutely work it in the pockets of your already busy day. The most busy people are always the most successful because they know how to manage their time well. You won't have a boss telling you what to do, when to work, or even who to work with. You get to pick. It's the best. And then the ability to create your days the way you want to, it's truly, truly a gift. So today, I lead an incredible team, stay-at-home moms, homeschooling moms, nurses, teachers, full-time working professionals, everyone in between. But they're women who are excited, women who are hungry to grow and change. And the impact we've been able to make together, it's the ripple effect, right, of positive change within families and communities and even the world. It's all started with one nervous step, one nervous yes, one person saying, I'm willing to change, I'm willing to grow, I'm not willing to settle for less than my best. So maybe you're sitting here thinking, well, Abby, I've tried something like this before. I don't think I'm cut out for this. I'm way too busy. I'm tired. I'm unsure. All the things. Just know I said and felt all of that too. But God doesn't ask us to be perfect. He just asks us to be willing. And sometimes the biggest blessings do come from the very thing we almost said no to. A year from now, if you guys are sitting in a completely different place, more confident, more supported, more options, more impact, more income, do you think it'd be worth the work to get there? Type one in the chat if you think yes, even if it's a timid yes, that is okay. Because the truth is, we only get one life. Will you live yours from faith or fear? When you look ahead, what is to come, I see women choosing courage over comfort, purpose over autopilot, and faith over fear. Women who get to decide that this one life you've been living is too meaningful to spend shrinking back or staying stuck, and really being willing to live out what you've been created for. And that's what I'm building towards. And so I know the best is yet to come. And I know that there's two ladies on here that I just want to share a really quick snippet and then we're going to be done. But a little bit about their vision. So Samantha, Sam, is a wife and mom of two and a stepmom to two more. Wave, Sam. On top of that, she serves her community in a powerful way as a probation and parole officer agent. Hope I said that right. And private investigator. She's intrigued me, you guys, from the start. But at the core of everything she does, her family is her why. Since partnering with Plexus, she's already created real change for her family. They've paid off credit card debt, covered her product costs, started getting ahead financially. It's given them breathing room and the ability to say yes to opportunities now while also being intentional about saving for their future. Her vision is to reach Emerald, that rank that I hit 2 years into my business, so that she can continue to create greater financial freedom for her family. She loves the leadership, the personal development, the confidence she's grown, and the community that Plexus provides. And she's so passionate about helping others grow into the best version of themselves inside and out. Stephanie, wave Stephanie. Stephanie Streck is a wife and mom of two teenagers. She's an educator who has a heart for helping others. Her journey with Plexus started just 8 months ago. She has made some waves. She started for more energy and to crave sugar less. That was my story. And she was amazed to learn of the financial freedom that she could achieve here. So when she received her first check with a comma, which was her first month. That was amazing. She has since then grown her paycheck since then. And her vision is to reach Emerald as well so that her family can have the margin to say yes to family adventures, vacations, creating unforgettable memories together while our kids are still semi-young. She can do a lot of that with a six-figure income, right? And so she sees this business as a gateway to freedom with her time, her choices, and her future. And she loves that women get to feel good while helping others feel good, while also making a really good stream of income from your home, from your phone. And so both ladies will actually be in Mexico with me and my two older kids. They are both bringing their husbands, whose names are both Craig, to Mexico next week. And I just cannot wait for them to experience the grandness of it and how Plexus is going to roll out the red carpet and celebrate all their efforts and achievements. It's going to be incredible. So, different stories, we all have something in common. Not one of us started because we had it all figured out. Not one of us felt ready, actually. And we both have had a lot of things to overcome along the way, but we knew that it was going to be worth it. And we were simply to just say yes to the next step. So no matter as you're leaving this call today, whether your goal is to get more information, have a conversation, if you're like, you know what, that $300 to $400, that would be really helpful right now. Or if you're like, I'm going all in, I want the debt freedom, I want the trips, I want the Lexus vehicle, whatever your goal is, perfect. We are here to support you in whatever that looks like. And so I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you for showing up on a Sunday night. I know the sacrifice that requires, so I really do appreciate it. And I'm excited. I am praying for you guys as you're thinking through this and having conversations. My biggest advice is just be open. Just be open to the conversation and see where it leads. You just don't know when that one yes is going to change your life like it has for all three of us and beyond. And so, if you have anything stirring inside of you, don't suppress it. That's the worst thing you can do. It's just go with it. And I don't believe that it's by coincidence if you're feeling that feeling. I believe because you are here at the right time in the right place for the right reason. And so, ask questions, message me if you want, get with whoever invited you, stay curious. And sometimes the smallest yes is the beginning of a life that looks very different a year from now. So, thank you everybody again for joining in tonight. I hope to see you guys soon in chats on the next trip. Hope you guys have a great night. Bye, everybody.